Ah, a little Wild Side. That's a great song. It talks about not messing around with these gals anymore. It's funny, all these metal bands, they either have ballads or these sappy love songs about getting left in the dust. But it is what it is. Good to see everybody. Simone from Italy, Char from Germany, Game Genie in the house. JW is back. Manuel, good to see you. Denny, BJ, all the good men in the chat. Good to see you. This is an oldie but good one. The classic saying, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Why is that so important for a man to grasp? I wish I would have known that when I was 15. How my life would have been different. She's never yours, and to those guys who are married, your wife is not a virgin. Facts. JC all the way from Texas via Oregon. But that's the reality. She is not yours, it's just your turn. If I would have known that, what a blessing that I would have not invested emotionally. I would have not invested financially. I would have, we would have been like Timmy Kramer. Timmy in the house, trimming landscape on my house I bought and paid for without the help of a lady. How many men have long since departed this mortal coil based on a woman, either self-deletion or deleted through other means, or even not a physical deletion, but a mental, emotional, and spiritual deletion. There's a lot of men that are dead today that are just walking around as zombies, unsure about life, unsure what to do. And basically, I would say 95% of all of their problems stem from the opposite sex. But what if they had the idea that that woman that they were trying to hitch their wagons to was really not his, that he could just have fun. He could take a minute by minute and just chill and just realize, she's gonna bounce someday. And I should just be fine with that and understand that. But most men are the cuffers. A lot of guys will cuff, though. They will future plan the moment they go on a date and there's some charm going on. They'll try to cuff that woman into a relationship because men don't, for the most part, a lot of men do not want to be alone. They want to be in a relationship. They think they can handle this one. They think their dopamine is more important than the last guy's dopamine that the woman releases with them. The whole thinking that you're different from the last guy. No, you're not different. You might have a different haircut, a different name, a different height size, but you're the same man in their eyes. What can you do for me? The agents are bandwidthing. Do you got some bandwidth problems, Game of Genie? If I would have known that at 16, where would we be? Bookshelf. It was nice to finally realize that my ex did nothing but complain. She never left room in her life to be happy. So, of course, I could never make her happy. Well said, brother. Christian Henny back. Good to see the Revster in the chat. Good to see Rev. Rev's going to be moving out west. Close to Rad. We'll have to meet up. So that is the reality. Man. And so when somebody understands this, what truly understands this, not just understands it, mentally, but philosophically, physically understands she's not yours, you're just your turn. Can you go back and now look and say, man, no wonder she bounced, or no wonder I got rejected, or no wonder it didn't work out. And we start to understand, and this is the crucial part about female nature, outside of she's not yours, it's just your turn. We have always said, women reserve the right to change their mind at any time. Doesn't matter what you did yesterday. Doesn't matter what you do tomorrow. It matters what you do today. And to have that kind of pressure on you to constantly, every single day, have to bring the goods to the party. You're the one supplying the happiness. You're the one supplying the material. It's a lot of pressure. So why do you think most men resort to their man caves? Or they become reclusive? The pressure got too much. They can't make her happy. They can't. The new tennis bracelet isn't going to work. It's not going to work anymore. But understanding she's not yours, it's just your turn, is a huge blessing. A lot of guys don't like that. They don't like it because they look at the investment that they put into a woman, whether it's financial, being around them, their time, their energy, their attention. And then for her just to up off and go for the next, guy down the road, or the next more attractive, younger looking man, who knows? It hurts them, Remember, men get rejected all the time. Let's say 80% of men are rejected, right? Either through divorce or breakups. That the women have initiated. I'm going to just take that divorce statistic and say 80% of all breakups are initiated by women because all divorces are, or 80% of divorces are, right? Females want the privilege of first refusal and to change their mind first. Bingo. Well said. Well said, Game of Genie. Good to see you. All right, brother, you're moving out this way. So when men are rejected, and I look back on my life, when the divorce came, which is fine, and it's been 9 years, do we feel the rejection of the woman, or do we feel the rejection of an investment that we made? An investment of time, an investment of children, potentially, marriage, sacrifice. Is that what we're feeling rejected about, or is it the person? In 20 years, my ex-wife became 20 million different people. She changed multiple times. And that was from even our so-called marriage counselor, who is a woman who is also twice divorced, had said that women change a lot. You're literally married to multiple women, even though you've only signed your name to one woman on a marriage license. They change a lot. So the pressure to maintain the happiness of a woman is difficult. Men cannot do that. We do not have the goods within our utility box to be able to do that. We think we can. We think we can just provide money, provide energy, attention, and time, provide anything she wants, be her man, do what she says, and she'll be happy. And that's the opposite. It doesn't work like that. Women are attracted to men that tell them no. They're attracted to men that say, I'm done. Don't mess around with me. I'm the boss. I mean, they like Fonzie Arthurelli. They don't like the Richies. They all say they want Richie and Potsy. They don't. They want Fonzie. Good to see Pedro Valentin in the house. Gone Fishing is back. I always like that moniker, Gone Fishing. I know that you don't miss your ex, and neither do you. So I mean, this is serious thinking. Do you miss her, or do you miss what you invested in her? And I think most men miss what they invested in them, and then they use that investment as a magical figure that she becomes, and they begin to miss her, even though behind that makeup and facade and under the clothes is a very different woman that treated him potentially not very good, and vice versa, men to women. There's a lot of men that are douchebags too. So there you go. But if you would have known she's not yours, it's just your turn, you would have stayed out of quicksand. Quicksand. Oh, it looks innocent. You can walk on it. You walk across the pond. The trail. It looks like it's just a little sand. It's just sinking. But 3 more steps in, you're halfway in. You can't get out. Gone Fishing says the investment. There you go. I think that is what trips men up. It's everything that investment recommends. Take out all of the dopamine and love, all that, what you think you love. Most people fall out of love within 2 months. You can't sustain the chemicals. It's like a new battery on a cell phone. It's only 100% for like 6 weeks. Then it's 99%. You can't ever go back. I think the only way marriages work, Project, good to see you. I wish you health and inner wealth. Let's keep going our own way. Well said, brother. I think at the end of the day, it's a superpower knowing this. So you can look at a beautiful woman and say, yeah, she'd be great for a throw in the sack or whatever. I got to deal with crazy, or I got to understand the risk and rewards. I see what you mean, Christian. But the reality is you can go through life and not worry, because eventually, most likely, you have a high percentage of chance she might bounce. You knew the 304. I sure did. I never wanted to play video games and sit there and eat pizza and watch Terminator. But this is what has happened now. Well, you got peace, quiet, and freedom, brother. Trust me, be rude. I find they respond best to that. However, you can't fake it. Yeah, you just have to treat them like 5-year-olds with breasts. If a 5-year-old ran up to you and started yelling at you, what would you do? You just kind of look at the 5-year-old girl and say, get out of here, beat it. You wouldn't get mad at them. You wouldn't get emotional. And there you go. The system is set up to take away the man. Well said. Yep, a lot of people have missed out on a godlike figure. There's a cashier like, I don't have the courage to talk to her. She never starts a conversation. I don't ever start. Listen, I think you wrote me this, Simone. Just be you. Be you. Winter has come and people are still going through a divorce. What's going to happen in 2025 now that Trump's going to be inaugurated? Are there going to be more divorces? Remember, January is the biggest divorce month of all time. As long as I follow the 1 to 3 smashes, nothing beyond 5, trust, just trust. There you go. And risk and reward, right? You'll have to send some picture, Christian, about you traveling. We take that rejection hard because we risk much more on the investment. Bingo. Danny said it. Absolutely. I mimic that. Game of Jamie mimics that. Gone fishing. The investment is what we're ass hurt over. That's the hardest part. We don't want to lose. Men hate losing. People get in fist fights because their team lost in the stands with the opposite team's fans. Men hate to lose. It's crazy. The system has created the idea that you need to procreate and have a family, but that is no longer a system that is applied to 1800. That was in the 18. Yes, you're correct. It's a lot different now. If these STDs had a choice between 100K or finding her soulmate, she'd pick the money. Yes. Stop thinking. Look, they did this study that women, if it was between the man of their dreams or the cell phone, what would they choose? 90% said they would choose the cell phone. What does that tell you? Okay. This is not a dating advice channel. This is a channel that we come and share our experiences with each other. Whether you're a young cat or an older man, a single man, a divorced man, one with kids, one without kids, we talk about these things to help understand, because sometimes men are so hard-headed, we won't listen to the truth. Most men, the majority of men, Pedro, 25 years, 20 for me, brother. But now I look at that going down the drain as that was my, that was life college, I guess. I flunked a few courses, but eventually I graduated. But most men were so hard-headed that we won't understand. Correct. Everyone goes through divorce. That we won't understand the reality of the situation because we don't want to. So we have to go through some serious burning, getting destroyed to find the red pill. And most people find this content or these creators like, how do I get my ex back? How do I deal with my ex-wife? How do I, she doesn't love me. Why did she fall out of love with me? Shit like that. And it goes to, and then videos will start popping up. You'll start listening to a couple creators. You won't believe it at first, but then you start reading the comments. That's what did it for me when Big John was around. I would read the comments and there'd be hundreds, thousands of comments of men saying the exact same thing. Wow, I gave her 20 years and 3 kids. We moved. Her dad died. I buried the dad. All this sort, and you start seeing a pattern, and you're like, it's just not me anymore. This is hitting a lot of men. This is real stuff. Betty's back. Women have become so shameless. They brag about being a 304. I've only seen men being humiliated by the divorce. Women, they love being called single mothers. Society and government promoted this garbage. Yes, they do. Somehow they get a dopamine release when they say they're a single parent. Like we should get up and cheer them on. No, that is the worst thing to do, is be a single parent. That's the worst thing for kids. And especially boys, because boys are underfathered and overmothered. That's why we have Skittles. That's why we have this woke shit. Underfathered boys. Too many beta males and too many psycho women are controlling the males. That's exactly what I just said. Well said. The system still planted the system. Doesn't change anymore. It is part of the matrix. And guess what? We're kind of like Neo, right? We're understanding that there's something more to this matrix that we were not told. Game of life, genie of life. We do hate to lose. We are the majority of the providers of income. 100%. Joseph Hoffman, all facts. Women consistently fail to understand why men look at divorce as a loss in investment. The ignorance is astounding. Well, women are emotional, so they're going to think more emotionally. They're getting divorced because we don't emotionally take care of their needs. You can't take care of anyone's emotional needs. That's your problem. That's her problem. When people say, we're going to come together, she's going to take care of me, I'm going to take care of her, it's going to be great. No, it doesn't work that way. Emotionally and mentally, you cannot take care of somebody. That's what they have to do. And you're told that you have to take care of her, and you just being there will help her emotionally. No, it won't. It might. It might in a weird reality, but it doesn't. As long as you don't commit, there is no reason to care. It's just your turn. Well said, Project. Justin is back. Good to see the Fiblander. Lots of simpy women like dads out there too, Rad. I agree. When I was divorced, by devoting every single ounce of my energy, finances, I kept thinking, maybe if I would have done this, maybe I would have not said that. I blame. Yeah, we look at what we did. I should have bought her the red dress. That's actually a story in Rad's timeline. She wanted this red dress, and I'm like, it was like $400. I'm like, do we really need to spend that? Like, what you're going to wear at one time? And I kept thinking, maybe I should have bought the red dress. Maybe that would have solved it. But now I know it wouldn't have. The programming, the feeling, the way of the female nature was already there. There's nothing you can do. Single mothers, it's hard, perpetual victim, and express helpless card. Who in the house? Well said, brother. Simps who want to go back to their ex are the ones who voted for that hoe. Kamalas. They have lots of, yes. I mean, a man that goes back to his ex is a very, unfortunately, insecure man. And maybe some of us have been like that. Maybe we would have taken the wife back 2 weeks after she filed for divorce. Maybe we would have. She seems fine. I don't want to make a move and embarrass myself in front of not. Let her come to you. If I give you any advice and you kind of have a soft space in your heart, let her come to you. Simple as that. You smile, walk out. If she's interested, you let her come to you. There's Hammer's new channel. Appreciate that, brother. Women keep blaming of having a kid and not a man, end up having kids and no man. Yeah, that they sure do. See, you can't win eventually. They want to be single. They don't want a man to tell them what to do, but then they get mad at the men that aren't there to take care of them. It's just, you can't win. Once you accept the reality of women, you will find peace, says the mayor of bodybuilding. Well said, brother. Now, how does that play out in my life? That just means I don't worry about someone else's feelings. I don't care. It's all about me and my boys now and some good friends or whatever, my parents. It is such a great thing to remove. And people say, oh, Rad, but you need to have love in your life. No, you don't. We could spend 2 days, 2 full weeks discussing what love is. And love is just 4 chemicals that you think is love. Dopamine, vasopressin, serotonin, and oxytocin. Those are 4 chemicals that are also released when Michael Jordan hits the buzzer beater when the Chicago Bulls won in 1996. It's the same 4 chemicals that you receive when your kid makes his first basketball shot. He makes his first swish in a game. And then we label it, oh my gosh, exhilaration. And most of us label it, I'm in love. I think there should be an education on what is love. I was blamed for years for bringing plastic flowers and not the real ones on anniversary in front of every single person she knows. It was so humiliating. Hey, at least those plastic flowers would stick around, right? They're not dead. The reason why it's just your turn, gals are only loyal to what picks their fancy. Bingo. Well said, Project. Hopefully she won't apply for a different job. Well, there will be somebody else. Back in my simp days, I took multiple exes back, had low self-esteem and no respect. Never again, never again. And you know what, Rev? A lot of us have been there. I mean, in high school, I had a girlfriend break up with me, and then she came back for me a year later. I got contacts. I was a senior. She was a junior. I took her back. We had a good time. Knowing, and I think at that point it was fine in high school, but guys in their later life that do this, they don't understand. Stay Chad, my dude, says Christian. 87% of women are on head meds, brothers. Don't buy into their baloney, Joni. Justin. I would say, is that low? Be a shark, swim forwards, not a crab, and move sideways or backwards. Never go back to someone who pulled the rug. Well said, Pedro Valentin. You don't bathe in dirty water. Let's be real. When you are canoeing that boat, I made this analogy up, by the way. When you are canoeing that boat, she's in the front. She looks like she's canoeing. But when you're canoeing hard and you're focused on moving that canoe closer to the shore or wherever, she's poking holes in it up front. And makes your life even harder. So eventually it starts to sink. She jumps in the other canoe. That's what we're talking about. So when you understand she's not yours, it's just your turn, she can poke holes all she wants. You know she's doing it. You know, if men understand today that the majority of women, say 90%, I'll give it 90%, 90% of women that are in relationships are probably texting other men or creeping, stalking their social media, or are charming and smiling at men in grocery stores or gas stations, where have you. You think they're 100% committed to you? They might be committed to your wallet. They might be committed to your last name. But for the most of them, 90%, I didn't say all. So those that are listening, that are women that say, you're such a woman hater. I don't hate women. I think women are beautiful. But we have to understand our brains are completely opposite. They do not work the same way. And men, the majority of men try to make their brains work in the way that a woman's brain does. I give her the equality she wants because that would imply I don't think she can do it. Now mow the lawn. Attaboy. Love is modern day phenomenon promoted by the media in Hollywood. Throughout history, men cared for honor, fighting, conquering, feeding the tribe. There wasn't such thing as love, only responsibility. Truth. Speaking of MJ, I recreated the last minute play. Attaboy. Again, if men understood the emotions, energy and motion is what emotion means. Energy coming from those chemicals, but we label them. We label them certain ways. I think love is real. I think you can love your children. I think you can love my parents. They're not in love. They love each other. I think that's even more powerful. I think romantic love is bullshit. I think it's lust. And I think lust turns into love, but for a very few. They have plan B, C, and D. Wow, with you, says Trogue. Well said. Women hate being forced to take accountability. It is their kryptonite for the majority of them. I'm entering into my villain area 2025 being direct and rude. He gonna give no Fs. Best CJ soundbite is you can't win. You can't win. Well said. But Rad, she told me she loved me and she wrote you a poem. She wrote you a note. In that moment, she did. She loved you in that moment, Rev. You guys, whenever, if you're with a woman or you're dating a woman or whatever, and if she says, "Oh, I'm so in love with you," you just put "in this moment you are." That's it. And if men truly understand what that meant, they wouldn't get butthurt. They wouldn't get all whacked out. They'd be like, "Yeah, that's just her. That's female nature. That's fine. I get it. She's not mine. It's just my turn." Men do that too, chat to other women, but men only go after them for momentary sexual pleasures. Yes, women go after men when they are done with them and they have. The difference is vast. Sure, men like the opportunity of laying down with women. I've said it all before. Men are typically not monogamous. We might physically be monogamous at times, but not mentally. Our brain is thinking about lots of women's loins and women's upper tops. You know what I mean? What's better than Paxson hitting a perfect 3? Tony Kukoc defending. Boys should be taught in high school what female nature is, taught, and what to expect later in life and how to protect themselves. Of course, this goes against the agenda and woke culture is taking over. Says Pablo, good to see you, brother. Saludos. You're well said. I'm fortunate I've never been highly emotional. I had a great male role model growing up. Well said. Most of the boys today, under 35, are overmothered and underfathered. And it sounds like you have the opposite. And that's the problem with life. We don't have good fathers. They've been taken away. My last and final said she would love me forever, and she still left. They don't call it lying, Trogue. They call it in their feelings. Most men nowadays by 20 are virgin. Most women are not. This tells everything. End of virginity was the end of marriage. If you are not her first, you are her last. Ooh, that stings, but he is saying the truth. Jack from the Titanic or Forrest Gump? Which is the bigger simp? Jack. At least Forrest went off and did his thing. Every lady is for rent. It is her body after all, says Esk Mask. Good to see you, brother. Well said. Most women can't even understand their own nature and their own emotions. Rev says Forrest Gump. He gumping. David Smith, good morning. Can't stick around, but hope you have a great day. Remember, with the rise of social media, women are not monogamous and never will be. Absolutely. And now the transparency is all over with all these social media channels of women having multiple partners. They're on OnlyFans. It's transparent for men to basically treat them with money. It's gone. I mean, unfortunately, it's gone. People say there are good women. Yeah, there's decent women out there. It's a 1% to 2%. That's 70 million women in this world are decent women out of the 4 billion. Tony Kukok was very good. Jack had a little bit of a player in him. Iceberg straight ahead. I saw that movie twice in the theaters. Me and the ex got married that year. We saw it and we were like, this is the greatest movie ever. It was a good movie at first. And then it was a good story. We all knew what happened. Fatties with 4 kids from 2 baby daddies are getting 200 likes per picture. Average man cannot compete. He's too busy fighting the whole world, which is against him. Betty laying it down to Chinatown. Timmy Kramer, I approve of a good 90-minute relationship, and that's after a meal at Costco. Are you going to get the chicken bake or the Polish dog? Give her a bottle of water for the road. Timmy Kramer, Buck Fitty Cafe. In heaven, there are good women. Potentially. Celtic Gamer, love is the religion with the smallest congregation. For compared to other religions, God and devotee were in this case at a ratio of 1 to 1. Well said, Celtic Gamer. Good to have you in the chat. Esther Villar, great book. Wilt Chamberlain, apparently, didn't someone say he screwed like 20,000 women? I find it hard to believe. Like, if you really do the math, that's like 3 chicks a day for 20 years. Women are never a long time thing, like the Porgy and Bess. Women are sometimes a sometime thing. Jack is a model simp. Well, that's how we have to treat it. We can't put all of our energy and money, energy, attention, and time, as Greg Adams calls it, meat, into these relationships, into these women, knowing that they have the potential. Now, I'm not to say all of them to leave. JC from Texas, it is unfortunate that family formation in the West is failing to the point of population decline. Beyond casual observation, it is not my concern. The decline is to be enjoyed. Well said. Decent ones are likely in relationships. The available ones are pre-selected to not be decent. Dating is a dumpster fire dive from the get-go. Well said. Nick's in the Philippines, from the UK to the Philippines. Are you in Cebu City or Duarte or on one of those islands? Be careful of those Filipinas. They like their Englishmen or their UK men. I think Nick's from Wales. Both die, but Jack and the last door for her when he freezes to death and drowns. Well, that's what we're told. We're told to give our seat. You know, if marriages worked, if family dynamics still worked, I would feel it would be honorable in the event that your wife, that if you had to die, that you would do it because you knew that woman loved you. You knew you were sacrificing for the kids. Wilt Chamberlain, yeah, I think you have the highest game ever, 100 points, right? Peace, Quiet, and Freedom, the best gals are gals all guys can afford. And ROI, all 3 are real. Well said. Yes, I am in love. I am in a relationship with Peace, Quiet, and Freedom. Known, unknown. Good to see you. Aaron Clary's book, Enjoy the Decline. Yeah, I like Aaron Clary. I tried to do a collab with him a couple years ago, but he didn't respond. Hammers, yep, he's definitely gonna, when he gets to 12,000, they don't like him. Dumagetti. Isn't that where a lot of the expats go, Nick? Hello, ladies and gents. Good to see El Padrino from Chicago. How you been, brother? Polska just been, he plays video games. He hardly comes on these streams anymore. Remember, I don't see him a lot. Cowboy's out. I think I've seen Cowboy a couple times, but very rare. I think he's just doing his job. Look at The Notebook. There you go. I had to watch The Notebook with the ex-wife at one point. Wilt the Still. If you're thinking TD Boy, not Wilton Chamberlain. Titty Boy. Wasn't Titty Boy a porn star in the 80s? But reality says, if men could just really, truly understand she's not yours, it's just your turn. Women change their mind all the time. Women are not monogamous for the most part in today's society. They won't bother wasting so much energy. And if it pops up, great. People ask me, I've had people on this channel and guys email me, how do I get her engaged? You can't. You can't engage a woman. You can't make her want to be with you. You can't make her want to stay with you. You can't make her not want to jump and experience another man. It's just reality. It's just reality. I dated a chick for a while and she asked me, who's your father? And I replied, Wilt. He could have had some Italian kids. Titty Boy worked for Animal Chin. There you go. Yeah, he throws out the minimum of 20K cunts. Does anybody really believe that? 20,000 women? I think porn stars probably are at 1,000 women. I don't know. I think that's probably, I would say 2,000. Wasn't the woman in The Notebook banging both guys? I can't even remember that show. It was so weird. She's not being yours and it's being your turn. That phrase exists for a reason. I think that is the most important. There's two things I see in reality. The red pill is you seeing true reality. The blue pill is seeing fantasy in your reality. Fantasy means she'll love me if I do this. I get married, I'm going to have a happy family, white picket fence. No. There's been too many movies and experiences and television shows and songs written that doesn't work out like that. And men want to believe. Men want to believe that they're different from the last guy that squirted dopamine in her brain. It's good luck. Maybe. Not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be extremely rare. Average man is done. Average man was the backbone of the civilization. Now he is crushed. Juice is not worth the squeeze. Before, at least, he had loot and booty after conquest. Now he gets scorned. Well, in a potential lawsuit, right? Look in England. I mean, after you've had some intimacy, that woman can change your mind 48 hours later. I did subscribe to Eric Zombro's channel. I think Brandon Trueblood brought that out. Thanks, Char. Mayor of bodybuilding, 80s porn chicks are the best. They had the big hair, didn't they? Big old Aquanet hair. A lot of them were natural. But still crazy. But in the end, I mean, that's the reality. What say ye, guys? How has this topic made your life better? Do you get butthurt anymore if she doesn't return your calls or text you because you know, or whatever? You just go, whatever, who cares? There's a bus that comes every 10 minutes. The below average woman has access to the world through her phone. Nick Vincent laying it down to Chinatown. That is 100% true. 7 weeks in Oceanside, San Diego. I deserve it. You go, Timmy Kramer. Big Chris from Vegas. Most women today are psychopathic narcs. Most men are their physical and financial sentinels of unappreciated self-sacrifice. Ooh, is that not philosophy right there? That is truth. Good to see you, Big Chris. Today I'm going to wallboard my wine cellar instead of wasting time with a skirt. What is your favorite wine, Trogue? Best advice, gents, stop watching television. That's great advice. Married women with kids and husband was sleeping with Pete next room, and now she was blank and is being accused. The world has become an insane place to navigate. Well, there is a lot of value in men that go monk mode, that stay out of those situations. And those that, flip and dip or dip and flip, For the 1 to 3 times, you got to be careful too. Got to know the risk and the reward. Be very, very cautious. The 80s black porn stars. Who was a black porn star in the 80s? My friends were shocked how quick I moved on from marriage. I'm good at moving on. Sounds like the emotions didn't affect you. That's a very rare, Mayor Bodybuilding, but glad that you could get through that quick. Joseph likes the urban women. She is not to own, only for lease, says X Mask. Well said. Gone are the days of being a gentleman. 304s don't respond to that. Ditch her early, leave her, and just ignore her dumb games. You're not mistaken there, brother. Forget crypto, buy dog and cat food stocks to the moon. Absolutely. Marvel Elite. Most men are terrified to accept reality that they're alone in this world. I agree. Most men don't want to be alone. 98% of them. That's why they'll get back into relationships. I threw away my TV. I have no TV in my apartment. Monk mode. I thank heaven for another day of not spending on the streets or in jail for what is going on. Good for you, brother. I used to combine my grandma's Aquanet hairspray with a Bic lighter to create a miniature flamethrower. I remember those days. Idiot Box is the TV. Television. It's all about brainwashing. There were other gents I met at the Chicago meet, the Rev and the Emperor. I respect those guys. I recently found a channel with a woman from Canada. I forgot her name. Yeah, I remember you going there, and you met up with Scotty too, right? Malbec Pinot Noir, making my own. Have 140 bottles. Dang, brother. Pinot Noir. I'm from Oregon. That's the prime place for growing those grapes. All in the 80s and 90s at Yummy Bush, they all used the douchebag pen, says Justin. Only emotion for my kids. They're good people. I think that's the right place to put it. Blaster's back. Western marriage is a humiliation ritual for men, emasculation, submission, and forfeiture of rights. Do not submit under these terms. It's not a contract we should be in, right, Blaster? She has good content in regards to MGTOW and others. The only women that are worthy of chivalry are the women who are born in countries and cultures untouched by feminism and are still virgins when they are married. Could be. Aquanet is potato cannon fuel. There you go. But there is a thing, Rad. I think within a decade, once the robots come, women's value will decline precipitously. Only I get a robot who can do chores for me. That'll be an interesting take, brother. All Sing Auto. Tell Lie Vision. Good to see you, brother. 100%. Wasn't built for entertainment. It was built for telling a vision. Yes, Rad. Now more than ever. There you go. Boob tube. My parents used to call it that. Thanks, Blaster, for being here. It's tough, Rad. When I woke up the red pill, I really don't crave sex anymore from my wife or in general. I think a lot of people realize that, you know? Telling lies to your vision. Television. Okay, gotcha. We won't call him that. If I say African American, that's what it's like. I even get weird if I say black. Like, I feel that's a bad thing. Like, I think programming has said even if you call them black, it's bad or something. It's like, whatever. There's some beautiful black women out there. I'll tell you that. XRP is a good bet. There you go. Never been so loath until marriage. I think a lot of men have felt that. World needs the Vikings back. We need to bring back fat shaming. Do you think it's best to homeschool kids nowadays, Simonassa? I think it's a good thing. I think you have we looked at that. The problem with homeschooling is I think they get smart. You can at least guide them through a way of thinking, but it's hard to connect with other people. I see a lot of kids that have difficulty in social situations. Now, I was growing up and 25 years ago, but maybe today it's different. There's a lot more people doing it, but I don't think it's a bad thing. If I had to do homeschool or indoctrinate the kids through the government, I'd probably homeschool. We all love our kids. We'll die for our kids. Only contract I'm in is with God. I like his code. Attaboy, Game Genie of life. Remember the days of using PVC and making potato guns using Aquanet? I sure do. What about slingshots? And now back to our regular schedule programming. Get it? Programming. Most women do not want to sleep with their husbands after 2 years. It's a fact. That is where men start cheating and they stop getting what they need. Women have all the option. I agree with that statement. Women lose interest. I would say 18 months, if not sooner. Good to see Europe in the chat. Our twice divorced Europe, our Chad, good to see you. He knows a thing or two. Nothing wrong with saying black. It depends. I like using it in intimate situations. I don't know. It's like some things you cannot say or what. It's just, I don't know. She's not yours. She is the bicycle of the town. I put my sons in private Catholic school and keep a tab on them on what they're learning. If you can afford it, that's great, brother. XRP, the bridge of cross-border digital payments, is frictionless and censorship resistant. There you go. Happy Saturday to Wolf. He was busy last night with his Polish friend. Yes, referring to the color, I avoid too, Rad. Just describe myself as albino. We got a lot of black guys in our chat. You know, they're smart dudes. They see this. So I think they see the red pill more than other guys. Any chivalry given to a woman who is a feminist and not also a virgin is not chivalry at all. It is indeed simping, pure and simple. Simping for the win. Did that happen to you, Chad? Like after 2 years, she started avoiding. Did that happen to me, Rad? Yeah. I mean, they lose interest. Sure. All of them do. There's very few that love sex every day. Pete from Fox News in his third marriage. A lot of dudes. All right. See you later, Justin. There's only a handful of countries with a better than replacement population right now, apart from Africa, thanks to feminism. Nick. He's not mistaken. She will stay as long as she benefits from you. When your money is gone, she will leave. No finance means no romance. Well said. 80 hours a week working. I can afford it. Doing it for a year now. It's doable. They give me a discount, a second child for free. Wow, good for you. I told them I'm a divorced wheelchair-bound immigrant. Oh, good. Well, you know, at least they're getting some good religious instruction. And it's not woke. Hopefully not. Just your turn in the porn scene. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad way of thinking. I mean, you to get to that level. If you thought that every woman is like a porn star, there's always a new guy in a different scene. Maybe that could help men not make bad mistakes. Be down on your luck and she'll dip out on you. Well said. Or be hurt, have a health issue, lose your job, lose your money. Mm-hmm. She don't have a hymen. Don't give her a diamond. She have nobody to blame but yourself when she shows you who she really is. Have you heard about those women that are trying to reconstruct the hymen to get married, to act like to become, what do they call that? To re-virgin themselves again? I think there are women that do that. That is interesting. I mean, to that point, you ask them 2 questions. How many genders are there and is she yours? The answer, no, Dad. And there are 2 genders. Attaboy. Teach them well, Betty. I want to stay single till I die. No nagging anymore. Peace. Focus on your health and wealth, and your place is your place. There is no chance of getting homeless anymore. Greatest thing about living in this house is it's my house. I can put whatever I want on the walls, play my music as loud as I want, put whoever I want in my bed, wake up whenever I want, clean it whenever I want. It's typically pretty clean. And I get to do it. I don't have to ask anybody. Game Genie. It's not about being objective anymore and all about subjective feelings. F your feelings. Facts over feelings. Nick says Hungarian birth rate's booming. Get married, have 4 kids, stay married. Interesting. Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't he from Hungary? You can re-sleeve a diesel, not a woman. Big Chris, vaginal rejuvenation. That's what it's called. Thanks for putting hammers back up. Reconstruct their hymen while they're in a 4B movement. I mean, what delusion do you have to be to get to that point? Y'all do know a lot of women love shopping, buy clothes, and never ever put them on, end up donating or going back to get reimbursed. Yes, you're well said, Greg Terrible. A lot of women still have the tags on their clothing. They love to shop. They love that dopamine they get from purchasing. I was in a shelter and was getting effed with my ex. At least you're not in that shelter anymore, brother. I like strong men for this reason. MJ, 23, and Will are my life models. I bought new king-size bed from Mattress Firm. I love sleeping there all by myself. I've started to sleep like a baby again. It's another thing, man. Even in the end of marriage, we didn't sleep in the same room. It's like she'd sleep on the couch, or I can't sleep with somebody. It's too hard. At this age, at 22, yeah, because I wanted the peace sleep, right? 23. Now it's like, I want my peace, quiet, freedom. Oh, Austria. Okay. There is a plan to replace Western pop. They don't want to incentivize citizens to raise birth rates. Well said, Trope. My name is Mud. Good to see you. Arnold is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. No man is strong. Every man got his up and down. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. Well said. Guys, go subscribe to Zombro's channel. He's got some good stuff. When Trump gets in office, he will eliminate taxes and hopefully property taxes. That way your home is actually yours. Well, we'll see what happens, but that would be great. Ladies should not disturb your peace. They don't bring men peace. Do not feel bad. I was homeless on street and I'm a wheelchair bound, very humbled by the experience. You learn a lot, right? I mean, think about it. Betty being wheelchair, going through divorce. I mean, what hasn't he experienced? And he's still here. Your experience definitely helps other men. Most women who do prawn really do not like men. I would agree with that. I think a lot of them go Skittles too. Or they marry some simp. Put that cookie down. Put that cookie. I remember that. Shaka's back. Good to see you, brother. I know Shaka. How's your hair doing, brother? They are without mercy once they decide to hate you. I don't think women have a problem hating on men. I really don't. I don't think they see it. I just think that's just part of their nature. I mean, if you can allow that to be, you're good. You're good to go. Let them think the way they want. Look at women, the most part. 98% of them should be looked at 5-year-olds with breasts. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to change their tender tantrums. You look at them and look away. That's it. And if you can truly understand that, you win in life. If you can get a dog, they will give you all the loyalty and unconditional love a woman never can. Gone with John back in the chat to see our brother John. I was just watching a couple of your shorts this morning about the makeup. Women, enough with the makeup. Good to see our brother John. I'll probably be out that way in a few weeks. Let me know. Manage Roy from Mumbai is back. Good to see you. At 20, if I knew this and about Bitcoin, I'd put all my money into that. I'd be sitting on some nice interest and be a gazillionaire. Well, there's a lot of things, if we have 2020, we do different, right? You're not alone, brother. One thing I learned is they will destroy it and be oblivious to it once they decide to dip on your shizzle. This is not a channel that hates women. This is a channel that helps men understand how we can coexist. Some choose not to, they go monk. Some do coexist and they understand the risk and the rewards. And some still are trying to figure out how to coexist, still thinking that they can make it work. And good for them if they want to make that happen. But the reality of them making a woman stay with them, be happy, stay monogamous, stay committed is very rare. 98% of women are not recommended. There are a 1% to 2% that are. If you can find a 1% to 2% like my sister, great. But you're still going to have female nature even with the 1% to 2%. And the 1% to 2% can eventually turn into a 98%. So, buyer beware. I have seen another foreigner in my place. He's either Ukrainian or Russian. Interesting. My brother is an alcoholic. My mother can't argue with him. She vents her anger on me. How would you react, Rad? I would try to stay away from that situation as much as possible. Be in your room, be outside exercising, or put her in her place. Say, you know what? That's between you and my brother, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Even mothers need to be held to frame of a man. But it's hard because you're, the son, she births you don't want to offend her. But just say, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this. This is affecting my self-esteem or my, it's affecting me in an unhealthy way. Best of Raging Golden Eagle on Zombro's channel. Good stuff. Yeah, Zombro's a good dude. Why are Doritos so damn good? Maybe because I just like tortilla chips. I like Cool Ranch, and the spicy ones are good too. The good ones are still irritating. Well, they're women. They're still women. And women are, again, they still don't have the brain that we do. Tell her to stop. Well said, Shaka. You're not the alcoholic. Yeah, just say, this is causing me toxic. I would not like to be involved in this anymore. If you want to have a relationship with me and you as mother and son, I'd love to that. But when you bring him in, you need to talk to, the father or him. Keep those boundaries. Well said, guys. It would be awesome to hang out with you, Rad. Hammer hitting the town that'd be fun. Down with a couple guys. Shaka, your mother is still a female at the end of the day. 100%. Hypergamy is hardwired in women. It's their programming. I have zero drama with my lady friend. Lucky so far. Until she wants a commitment. JC, there is no way to prove it, but it's likely that this and channels like this have and saved many men's lives. I agree, JC. I mean, Big John was a godsend to me. Got to find a country and culture where shame still exists. That is the last place on earth that is truly worthy of a man's sweat, blood, and tears. Might be the Amazon or the Amish at this point. How do you really know the 1 or 2%? Even the best ladies still have female nature and can be challenging. Well said, Slam. Check out Slam's channel as well. You're right. They can turn into the 98%. I recommend chewing on some tortilla chips and never share with the 304s. I got action figures, art on the wall, books, got long hair, and she doesn't get to say anything. Isn't it great owning your own place? We are seeing wild animals in my village. Lion, tiger, leopard. Interesting. Man, have some sort of spray, I guess, some sort of repellent, like a pepper spray. Modern women forget her time is ticking. Her eggs will die and she will hit the wall hard. Winter is coming. Having these community helps men from going to dark places and to get out if they are there. Absolutely. And today it's a lot different than it was in 2015. There are more channels. There are more live streams. You can catch a live stream every single day if you want, if you're struggling. Brandon Trueblood goes live. Hammer goes live. MGTOW Outlaw goes live. MGTOW Infinium. I mean, lots of guys are constantly giving a platform to help men. I liked it when he was smoking those cigars. He was great. SCE, my master wrench in the chat. Good to see you, brother. You need to. I would say if you're dealing with animals, like wild animals like that, you probably might not have enough time to grab your weapon. I would just have a pepper spray. I mean, that shit will bother anybody. And just hold in if you're walking in an area that's got crazy animals like that, just hold in your hand. Just be on guard. And for heaven's sake, don't be on your phone. I'm familiar with Lazarus, but not as much. Leopard take away newborn children when they are at sleep. Jeez. Lock the door. Yeah, put the baby in a nice crib, like a metal crib or something. Scotty in the chat. Scotty is abusive and controlling and abusive to the ladies at Ichabod's in Beaverton. Joseph, how good to see Scotty. Bear spray. There you go. I bet northern India's got a lot of those animals, right? Just because it's closer to Russia. And there's some attractive Indian women too. Some of those Indian entertainers. South Korean women are attractive. I don't know why I'm going off on this channel. Probably because, but at the end of the day, female nature is their programming. Simple as that. 98%, we don't recommend. 1 to 2%. Buyer beware. Remember, they're still female. I don't know much. I know he's been around for a while. I don't know what's going on with his channel. I haven't seen it for a while, but we want everybody in this space to get along. We're all men fighting the same battle. West Bengali. I was watching for a while last night. He did some good vids. I think every guy that makes vids has a good piece to him. I think even Richard Cooper has said some good things. Even Rollo in his book has said some good things. I'd had to show me around some countries I've never been, find me a place, and I'd play for all the. There you go. Well, I'm going to Mexico. Scotty, I was going to tell you, I'm going to Mexico January 9th through the 15th. My ex almost got a job in Chittagong, Bangladesh. We almost moved there. They have friggin' tigers roaming around. Dang, Bangladesh. The dark African ladies take it for the win. Yes, Wolf, I have experienced that before. Animals have to know that it hurts when they come too close to humans. That is the one and only sure way they'll know to stay away. Yeah, and if people feed them, then they allow these animals to get closer, and that's when they strike, when they feed freaking bears. You see all those YouTube shorts where they're feeding bears? A bear is a wild animal that will eat you. Hide your wallets. Cuffing season is on the prowl. Life is not hard. Life is easy. Change your mindset. No woman means your life is getting easier. It's all a mindset change. If you look at what you've gone through as you graduated, it was tough. It was difficult. You sacrificed money, energy, attention, and time, and now you've graduated, and you can look back and say, I did learn some things, but I'm not doing it again. Single mothers do make weak men. They're overmothered and underfathered. Well said. Fishy box for $5 on OnlyFans, and in dating apps, you get the fishy box for free. True. You had to become stronger. There you go. I mean, that's the reality. Whatever we've been through will make us stronger. We just understand what the pitfalls are, what the obstacles, what the red flashing signs mean, what the red flags are. I've been doing this channel since 2019, 5 years. When July was 5 years. And we're still talking about the same things. There's so many of you that have been around for 5 years. We've let this sink in. We'll have to see if we can make some profit, get these houses moved. I took my house off the market for the next couple months. I don't know. I want to deal with it during the holidays. Hopefully that first quarter we start seeing the economy improve, but you never know. Your past is your past. Forget it, learn from it, and live in the present. And your past doesn't exist. The future, there's no such thing as the future. It's only what we got right now. Well said. You're a busy village turned into silent, empty house village. No population. Hardly for a 5-family in the entire village. They are saying this for a reason. Well, be careful out there, Manage Roy. Men live in reality. Women live in the fantasy. How can this work out? They can find a man that lives in the fantasy, and that might work for a month. Far From Eden. Yeah, I saw that he was on 2 channels, Legion of Men and Far From Eden. Invest your money into you guys and not these 304s. Yeah, when people say, I have much more money now because I'm not spending it on some woman that's never happy. And now you can take that money and buy a pair of new hiking shoes. Go hike. You can buy a new bicycle. You can take a trip by yourself. We got men that are taking trips. We got Scotty. Scotty goes on his deal. FJT is taking a long break, guys, but he's all over the map. 30 years old. Batman Forever just took his first trip to Dominican. Wes is over in Europe. This guy has a really interesting story that him and I should do. Wes from Warriors End Tennis. He was in his house all the time, and he started watching channels, and now he's over in Europe. He was able to get out of his alone, unable to move, and now he's flourishing elsewhere. So yeah, these channels do help. Men live in the fantasy as well in Europe. There you go. My divorce is my greatest teacher. Your ex-wife is too. Haven't watched it, just appeared in the algorithm, I guess. I look at my ex-wife as a gift, really. I'd be still married if she didn't divorce me or file for divorce. In the end, we've divorced each other, but she petitioned the courts, and I would not be talking to you. I would not be in the health I'd be today. I truly feel a lot of peace, quiet, freedom. 304 means she is only using you. She will never pay for you. A big sign for her attraction to you is she pays. I've seen women have paid for me. Yeah, there are good women out there. I sold my house in England. I'm not buying another, as I believe the UK has done. Yeah, I won't buy another house again. Nah. That's awesome, bro. It's good to see. It's good to see Scotty's content being highlighted by others. The smaller channels are the best. Yeah, I haven't seen not Wes, not Wes. Wes Warrior Zen Tennis SCE. Not Wes from 5 Years of Freedom. I got to check out. I haven't watched the Far From Eden one. I just heard about it. I'm only talking about the top 20% masculine men. The other 80% are beta male. Yes, you're correct. A woman marrying a man, that divorcing a man and taking $20,000 because she can do that. She can do that, managed Roy. Women do that all the time in the States. Never had a gold digger, just nutcases. There you go. Shaka says, getting expensive in Utah. It's increased in the last 10 years. Save yourself, not someone who expects everything but brings nothing to your life. A co-pilot instead of a dependent. Well, a lot of these women are dependents. Well said, Slam. Bears only understand pain, not bribery. Make them understand fear by making them feel pain, and they'll understand that it's your territory. Facts. Yeah. Thanks for posting to Hammer's new channel. Yeah, not Wes's. Wes is, I don't think he's making any videos in the past. Modern women's highlight will be 10 cats and 100 boxes of wine. She is investing in her misery. Misery loves company. Well, I'm not going to argue that point. You're absolutely right. It's really kind of sick the way they mentally indoctrinate little boys into thinking mommy is God. It's just overmothered and underfathered. That's the problem in today's society, folks. RPM MGTOW, a great channel. Yeah, there's some good ones. There's Polska. Good to see Polska. Polska, you need to get a Miller High Life and a burger today. Tesla autopilot's a ripoff from Knight Rider. David Hasselhoff. Michael Knight. Yeah, guys, go subscribe to Zombro's channel. He's a good dude. Old ex-New York City police officer. I think he was there at 9/11 when it happened. I walked into a Polish deli with a stuffed kielbasa in my jeans and ordered some pierogi with the cute Polish girl. Attaboy. Next time, take a picture. Guys, this has been a great stream. I'm going to go to the gym now and see all the 304s taking videos. Father is the seed. The mother is just a grow bag. Yeah. You're doing pizza. Oh, do pineapple on your pizza, Bob. Come on. Your life is in your hands. Change it in a positive way. Take care of your health and wealth. No matter what you do, she'll never be happy. Don't forget, even Tom Brady is divorced. No woman born in the Western Hemisphere is worthy of marriage, childbirth, or cohab. Give them nothing. Stay out of the courts is what we like to say. Overmothered and underfathered. That is the reality of life. You guys have been great. We'll see you on the next one. Catch all the streams this weekend. And till then, Polska says pineapple is blasphemy. We're out. Peace.